Hi and welcome to the Rural Project. In this video you're going to get an introduction to the channel, and I'm going to show you all the projects that I've already undertaken and give you an insight into some of the future projects that I've yet to complete. Most of these projects have not been released on YouTube yet, so consider this to be a sneak peek of all the videos to come as I work my way through all of the hours of video footage that I've got. I also give an insight to all the future projects that are coming, so please stay tuned, and if you like all of this and want to see more, don't forget to click like and subscribe and hit the bell so that you get notifications of all my new videos as I release them. So what you see here is some aerial imagery from 2011. The imagery shows part of the 10 acres of land that I own. As you can see, the house is within the woods, shall we say, and the forest is all around the house. There's very little cleared area around the house where we've got grass, and yeah, the trees are sort of pretty much covering all the land in that area. Now in 2014 there was a fire that came through here and it burnt the house down, and then as we go through these images you'll see what this looked like after the devastating fire. As you can see, I'm flipping between images pre and post fire. So what you can see here obviously is the house is completely gone. The water tanks remained afterwards, and once the house had burnt down, within a year of that the bulldozers came in and moved all the rubble from the house. What the bulldozers also did was came in, and any of the dead and fallen trees, they came in and bulldozed those over the edge and created tree piles in several locations. That was to create a fire break around where the house would be built again in the future. So after the fires went through in 2014 and the bulldozers came late 2014, the land was then left empty. And this is where I came in. So in 2017 I purchased the land. So obviously it was land without a house on it. And over these next few images you'll sort of see the changes that occur. This image is from 2017, and as you can see, nothing much has happened to the land, however it is starting to recover. This image is from January 2018, about 6 months after I purchased the land. In the 6 months that I've owned the land, I've cleared all the trees that were pushed over and shown on the bottom of the image, and also almost everything that you see on this image here was given a brush cut. Removed several years worth of grass growth. This next image is from December 2018, about a year later. What you'll see here is that I've installed the new septic system. Obviously I had no house to connect the septic system to, but what I wanted to do was get this installed because of all the disruption to the land. I thought best to get that installed before the house goes in, and then I don't have years of the land recovering afterwards. I continued to clear the trees that had been pushed over along the existing access road. I built a new access road down to the dam, and when I got there I repaired the dam, fixed the core and added a new overflow pipe. Fixing the dam was a huge job, but it needed to be done to stop the dam deteriorating even further. And also made a start on the retaining wall close to where the new shed will be built. This was a long drawn out process, but the results were really great. So this next image is from January 2020, so it's a whole year has passed since the previous image, and you don't actually see a great deal of difference on the land. However, just one noticeable thing is the scar from the septic system installation that has started to heal and the grass has started to grow back. I spent quite a lot of time working on the retaining walls. So I completed the retaining wall near the shed that you can see here. I also spent quite a bit of time putting retaining walls in either side of the water tank, and also worked on the plumbing system that would take the water from the roof of the shed into the storage tanks. I also spent a lot of time clearing dead and fallen trees in and around the property. As you can see here, having to drop a couple of the large trees, but then also taking all those trees, bucking them to length, putting them through the log splitter and either selling it as firewood or stacking it and drying it for future use. I also tried my hand at some slabbing using an Alaskan chainsaw mill and turned some of the logs into boards that we used on the jetty. This next photograph is from March 2020. As you can see, the land has really started to recover after the hot Australian summer, and you can see all the land starting to green up. The first 3 months of 2020 was really busy, so I managed to build a wood shed near the container. Luckily I had my cousin there to help me, so the build went really quickly and really smoothly. I also made a start on a jetty and managed to get all the frame in place. I purchased a Cat 304, which made moving a lot of the down trees a lot easier. And put all the shed piles in preparation for the shed slab. Not long after I'd completed the piles, COVID really started to take hold. So between March 2020 and November 2020, we had lockdown here in Melbourne on and off to varying degrees. That resulted in long periods with no activity, but what I did manage to do was complete the jetty build and get all the boards on there and call that project done. And what I also did is in the lockdown period I planned a lot of the projects that needed to be completed, so that when I got access I was able to get into them pretty quickly and get them completed quite easily. I spent quite a bit of time at the turning circle at the top of Slippery Hill, so I cleared a lot of trees in that area and also built my first storage bay there. The storage bays are used to create space in quite a tight location. During the peak of the lockdown, I managed to get some steel delivered and built myself a steel frame for the next large wood shed, which you'll see in the future. And then I also managed to get a contractor engaged to put a slab in for me for the shed. So all in all, even though there was a lot of lockdown, I managed to get a lot of good jobs done. The next photograph is just a few months later, in December 2020. What you can see here is that the shed build has started, and the team quickly get the frame up and start cladding. And down at the top of Slippery Hill, in the turning circle there, I've built storage bay number 2. And when you watch the videos for this, you'll realise that storage bay number 2 is not only bigger, but much better than storage bay number 1. Lots of lessons were learned with my first build. And now we're on to the final photograph, February 2021. In this photo you'll see that I've completed the wood shed number 2 down at the turning circle at the top of Slippery Hill. So that wood shed was complete. It's a great functional wood shed. Built on stilts to maximise the space of the turning circle, it'll hold over 20 cubes of wood. The contractors also finished the build of the shed. So they took that to lock-up stage. There's still bits and pieces for me to do from a tidy up around the shed, but it's complete as far as they're concerned now. So what are the plans for the rest of the year? The list seems pretty endless. So I need to get in and clean the water tanks and the pipework which connects the water tanks. I need to sort that out and work out exactly what's happening and why I can't pass water from one tank to the other. I need to place rock on the car parking area. I want to put a shower and a toilet within the shed. At the turning circle at the top of Slippery Hill where woodshed number 2 has just been built, I need to install drainage in that area because that area gets heavily flooded, as you'll see in some of the videos. I need to continue the cleaning of the trees. I need to widen the driveway, make the dam bigger, put a connection road in between the dam and Slippery Hill, fix the dam access road, maybe get some sheep and goats. As you can tell, the list just goes on and on. But high on the list is processing hundreds and hundreds of hours of videos and photographs and making some great YouTube videos of all the really cool projects that I've been working on and all the progress I'm making as I try and restore this land back to its original glory So stay tuned and keep watching the Rural Project.